Well, good evening, everybody. If you haven't found your seat, I encourage you to do so, but by all means, continue to enjoy your food and beverage. This is one of the outstanding evenings and events that we host each year at West Texas A&M University. Our athletics department, the university as a whole. This is an elegant evening where we recognize literally the best of the best, and as we go each year, it is in farmers' terms, it is a deep crop. Tonight, we recognize the 38th class to be inducted into the West Texas A&M Athletics Hall of Champions. The Hall of Champions recognizes the finest student athletes, coaches, administrators, and other individuals who have achieved notable success during their WT career or have achieved notable success in their professional careers after their matriculation from the university. At this time, I'd like to have our Hall of Champions committee please stand. If those that are here, we've got just a few: Matt Stewart, Rick Cooper. It is a 25-man and woman class comprised of administrators, coaches, current Hall of Champions members, and university staff members that pour over the numerous nominations that we get each year. It's a tedious process, but it's very gratifying when we finalize our class and ultimately come here to recognize them during the inductions. Now, before we move into our inductions, I'd like to bring forward our Vice President of Athletics here at West Texas A&M, Mr. Doug Lipinski.
Thank you, Ken. I got my notes so we stay on task tonight. We have some unbelievable inductees that we're going to present into the Hall of Champions. Tonight is a night to celebrate the past, honor our traditions, and look forward to the future. I always say the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Champions is, this night is my favorite night because we have so many people in the room that have done so many great things and support us. An event like this is not possible without a lot of hard work. Kimberly Dudley, will you please stand up? Okay. Big round of applause. She makes this thing happen. Thank you so much to our MC, Kent Johnson, to the entire JBK staff for all your work and for the food. We appreciate it. And Ken had already mentioned the championship committee here. It is an unbelievably hard job when you have all these nominees, and our tradition is unbelievable. So just imagine all the folks that are presented annually. It is the best of the best. Hall of Champion members, current Hall of Champion members, if you're present, please stand. Thank you. Thank you for laying the foundation, but also thank you for being here. It means a lot to the inductees. It means a lot to us as a staff, as a department, and as a university that you're still involved in what we do. We're going to have another great class of inductees. I'm looking forward to hearing from all of them. But we're also tonight going to celebrate a couple Legacy Award winners, and I want to talk about them a little bit. The first is Brit Care Home Medical, the Britton family. You want to talk about a group that is devoted to WT. They've supported us for over 2 decades. You might have heard the Brit Care Lady Buff Volleyball Classic, but Stan has been part of what we've been doing for over 2 decades. His son Josh continues to grow the business here in the Panhandle. Ties run deep in everything that the Britton family does. So when you look at, they have 2 daughters that have played for WT. One that had played volleyball, daughter-in-law that has played basketball, and then their son started his education here at WT and has gone on to be a doctor. They are WT Athletics, and we're so proud of them, and we can't wait to honor them. And then Ed and Jeannie Wright. I see Ed everywhere. All right? He was one of the first people that I met when I came here. You want to talk about the spirit of WT Athletics? That man right there. I don't know, Ed, how many season tickets you have. I know you're a 1970 grad. Every time at the basketball games, I am fortunate as the athletic director to have a minute to talk to him. The spirit of WT is sitting right there. And it is really cool that we have the opportunity, when we talk about our Legacy Award winners, to present, the award to you, but also to acknowledge both of our Legacy Award winners and how much support you give to us as an institution, as a department, and for what I do every day I go to work is to create the best student-athlete experience possible. And your support matters. So we appreciate that. I appreciate everybody being in the room. I'm looking forward to a great night. I'm not going to hold us up. Go Buffs.
All right, Doug alluded to the Legacy Award, so let's present our first Legacy Award. First up, Britt Care Home Medical. Let's have the Britton family please come forward.
Brick Care Home Medical has been a longtime supporter of Lady Buff Volleyball, sponsoring the Brick Care Lady Buff Classic for the better part of 2 decades. In 2021, the company provided additional support that allowed West Texas A&M to install a world-class volleyball surface inside the box. Brick Care Court is one of only 5 Olympic-caliber volleyball courts in all of NCAA Division II. Brick Care now has 3 locations with over 60 employees.
Hi, my name is Lauren Hodges, and I have the absolute privilege of being Stan's daughter. When I was asked to make this video, I was truly overwhelmed because I know there's no way I'll do justice in describing how great of a man my dad truly is, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. My dad is the definition of giving a shirt off your back. He's kind, he's smart, and he's the biggest goober you'll ever meet. I don't think the man has ever met a stranger.
Congratulations, you guys, on the Legacy Award. Can't think of a couple more deserving people than you guys. Y'all are always so generous and just really care about people. Congrats.
Congratulations, Josh and Stan. The Brittons are a great family. Brick here is a great place to work, and Josh is absolutely the best boss ever.
I've worked for Stan for many years, 20 plus years, and it's been great being here for him. He's a great boss, very generous, and he's a genius as well.
I am lucky enough to not only call you my employers, but also to be a part of your family. And you are the first to be the one to always step up and help, and to be by anyone's side that needs it. So I just want to congratulate you, and go Buffs.
Above all, my dad is the biggest family man you'll ever meet. I remember one time in high school, I couldn't get a hold of him, so I called the pharmacy, and they were in a panic that something bad had happened to him because there's no way he wasn't answering my call for the whole day. Thank God it turns out he had accidentally turned his phone on silent, but the pure panic that the pharmacy had, just knowing that he would never not be there for his family, shows exactly how great of a man he is.
I've worked for Stan for over 30 years. He's always been a kind and generous boss. Josh, his son, is just as kind and generous. It's made my 30-year career a wonderful experience, and I'll always appreciate it. And then
I've known Josh for many years. I've always admired his leadership and dedication. He definitely leaves a lasting impact on everyone's life.
I have the privilege of working for both Stan and Josh Britton, and I've gotten to know the Britton family over the last several years and have gotten to see firsthand a lot of the generosity that they have, as well as what wonderful people they are.
Hey, Josh and Stan, just want to say congratulations on your Legacy Award. It is just truly an honor and privilege to have you in my life all these years, and not only as an employee, but you've taken me into your family as well. You are one of the most generous people I have ever had the pleasure of knowing, and you have taught me so much about that and what it looks like to just give selflessly. So congratulations again. Love you both.
My dad has been one of my biggest supporters throughout every stage of my life. He's there to celebrate the highs, encourage at the lows, and give some tough love when I really need it. He is so special to me and so special to so many, and I'm so happy that he's being honored. He is the most amazing man, and I feel so blessed to call him Dad.
And our next recipients are Ed and Jean Wright. Ed, Jean, come forward, please.
Ed and Jeannie Wright are the epitome of a Buff family, not only supporting the student athletes, but WT coaches as well. Ed and Jeannie have fed numerous athletes over the years, and they've helped Buff Nation in many intangible ways. They have also given generously to West Texas A&M athletics for decades, as well as being season ticket holders for numerous sports throughout the years.
Well, first of all, I want to say that I grew up with them and have known them both all my life. And as you can tell, they're both older than I am.
We've known Ed and Jeannie Wright for over 40 years, and I can tell you, nobody's blood runs more maroon than theirs.
He's got about every award we got. He is a graduate of distinction in agriculture at WT. He is also a distinguished alumni for the whole university. Jeannie is a very patient woman, and to put up with Ed, and she is also all in when it comes to supporting the Buffaloes, whether it's attending games, providing meals.
Ed is a big man with a bigger heart. If he sees a need, he does something about it.
Ed Wright is a nephew of Joe Fortenberry, who was captain and All-American for the 1936 USA Olympic team.
They support all sports, and they want all to be successful, but their greatest desire is for all students, not just athletes, to receive a degree that will make them productive and successful citizens.
Countless meals they have fed at their home and on campus for our teams and supporters, and he's been attending Buffalo games for the last 70 years. They're good friends, they're good people. Ed's kind of a big guy, but he's all heart when you get to know him.
He's even a self-appointed, unpaid consultant to referees when the need arises.
There was one time, and I can't remember the year, but it was in the 60s, that West Texas State won one basketball game the whole year, and we beat Texas A&M. That was the game we won. And they had this big all Southwest Conference player from Plainview named, I think his name was Ronnie Perrette. Well, we went to the game in a snow, kind of a bad weather. There wasn't probably 200 people in the box. By the time the game was over with, Mr. Perrette was going after Ed because Ed had given him a hard time the whole game.
Congratulations, Ed and Jeannie. It's a great award. Enjoy it.
Nobody deserves this award more than you two, and I am so proud to be able to say congratulations to you, and we will be enjoying the Buffaloes winning for a long time.
Well, congratulations again to Britt Care Home Medical, the Britton family, and Ed and Jean Wright for everything you do. I know you do it because it's fun and it's something you do, but you don't realize how much we appreciate your efforts. Thank you. Now let's move on to our individual inductees. Our first inductee is Eva Rogers.
Lady Buff golfer Eva Rogers was a three-time NGCA All-American Scholar that captained West Texas A&M to 3 team tournament championships in 2011 and 2012. Eva claimed a pair of individual tournament victories during her career as the Florida native finished 9th place at the 2010 NCAA West Regionals. Following her playing career in Canyon, Rogers has become one of the top golf instructors in the country. She has earned several recognitions, including Golf Digest Best Young Instructor in America. Eva is currently the PGA teaching professional at Medina Country Club in Medina, Illinois.
Congratulations to Eva Rogers. She's one of my best friends and she's one of the best golf instructor there is.
I'm so proud of Eva Rogers for being nominated and being entered into the Hall of Champions for WT. She was an outstanding player here.
As a touring professional myself, I can tell you that everywhere I go, Eva Rogers' name is recognized.
When she graduated, she had the 4th lowest scoring average. And her super senior year, she helped the team have their lowest scoring average ever. And since then, her leadership that she instilled into the team and our team culture that she helped develop, since then we have just blossomed. And a lot of that is from the groundwork that she helped us establish when she was on the team here at West Texas.
Of all the awards that you have received so far, this one, being inducted into the WT Hall of Fame is very special.
After graduation, Eva went on to be a teaching professional at places like PGA National, where they host a PGA event every year, Lake Nona, where she became friends with Ian Coulter, Henrik Stenson, Annika Sorenstam, and then she was at Trump Doral, And for the last several years, she's been at Medina Country Club. And if you know anything about golf, it's one of the most exclusive, beautiful golf courses in all of the U.S. She has been a lead instructor there. She's earned numerous accolades for Illinois Teacher of the Year. Let's see, she's been in Golf Digest Top 100 Under 40 and is one of the best instructors I've ever seen. In fact, she helps me with my own swing now. So it's a little role reversal there with Eva.
Everybody knows who she is and how big an impact she makes in people's life on and off the golf course.
I remember when our team made it to Nationals in Denver for one of the festival years. She had a surprise for the team, and she had us all get together by my laptop and had Annika FaceTime with the team prior to the first round.
Like I said, of all these awards and fame that you have, you stay true to yourself, to your friends, your family. You stay humble. I'm very lucky to have you in my life.
And although Eva was originally from Florida and came to us after junior college, she's a Buffalo. She bleeds maroon, and she's proud of West Texas, and she's promoting us with everything that she does in women's golf across the country.
Just can't wait to see what else you have for the golf world.
There's one memory I have of Eva, and all of her teammates have it as well. I won't explain it, but if you know, you know. Anytime we are driving down a Texas highway, going to a tournament in Austin or Houston or wherever we may be going, I think of you, Eva, when we smell a skunk on the side of the road.
Congratulations, Eva.
Congratulations, Eva. I am so proud of you.
Go, Eva.
Hi, everyone. My name is Eva Rogers, and I'm really bummed I couldn't be there to accept this award. Let me start off by saying never in my wildest dreams did I imagine this moment, being inducted into the WT Hall of Fame. This is not just a highlight of my career, it is a moment that represents the people, the sacrifices, and the belief that shaped me along the way. I want to start off by thanking my family, friends, and mentors. Thank you for being the foundation beneath everything I have accomplished. Your support, love, and encouragement allowed me to chase dreams bigger than I ever imagined. I also owe a big thanks to WT. This university gave me the foundation to grow, not only as an athlete, but into the woman I have become today. WT gave me a team, a community, and experience that I will carry with me for the rest of my life. I am proud to be a part of its legacy. To my coach, Meredith, to say thank you doesn't even begin to cover the impact you've had on my life. From the very first day, you believed in me when I struggled to believe in myself. You saw potential where I only saw limits. You challenged me to think bigger, to work harder, and never settle for less than what I was capable of. Every milestone I've reached in my career carries your influence, and this Hall of Fame honor is as much yours as it is mine. This honor is something I will cherish for the rest of my life. It represents faith, perseverance, and the extraordinary people who have shaped my journey. Go Buffs.
As mentioned, Eva is currently living in suburban Chicago, where she serves as a teaching bro at Mundelein Country Club. Unfortunately, a schedule conflict has kept her from being with us tonight, thus we had her acceptance video. But accepting her award on her behalf are two of her former Lady Buff teammates, Sarah Bass and Molly Hughes. Our next inductee is Fatim Afesi.
Fatim Afesi is one of the most decorated track and field athletes in WT history, and she takes her rightful place in the Hall of Champions. Afesi was the first person in Division II to win Women's Field Athlete of the Year on 3 separate occasions. A talented jumper and sprinter, Afesi claimed 5 individual national championships and helped the Lady Buffs to 2 national team titles. The Geneva, Switzerland native was an 11-time All-American and won LSC Female Athlete of the Year in 2019. Afesi currently works as a clinical counselor associate in Oregon.
Hey Fatim, congratulations on being inducted to the Hall of Champions. You are truly an inspiration to athletes across the world.
Congratulations Fatim on your induction into the Hall of Champions. Certainly a well-deserved honor. Just adding to your long list of accolades during your time here at WT. So very proud of you, very happy for you.
Congratulations Fatim on making the Hall of Champions Class 2025. When I think of a Mount Rushmore of kind of WT track athletes, cross country, you're definitely on it.
I am so grateful to have had the opportunity not only to be your teammate, but to also be your friend.
Probably too many memories to really pick out one. You know, every time you stepped on the track, it felt like you did something very special. But if anything does stand out to me, I would say it's the 2019 NCAA Championships in Kingsville. During that long jump competition, you know, we had a couple jumps that were difficult, weren't quite in the running for the title. We talked a little bit in between rounds, and you came out that first jump in finals and ended up winning the whole thing with that jump, and that'll always be a special moment for me, as that was the first national champion that I coached.
Probably one of my biggest memories is 2017, obviously our first national championship at WT for track outdoor, winning the 4x1. That was a big one. And starting off really with the long jump, scoring points there for us. And we scored 18 points with you and Relly kind of starting it off, and it just kind of snowballed into our first national championship.
I saw firsthand your dedication, your competitiveness, yet the poise that you brought to the track. And I am elated that WT saw fit to induct you into the Hall of Champions.
And just appreciate everything you did for the program here. One of the best jumpers in WT history, one of the best jumpers in NCAA history, and just can't say enough about you. And
multiple national championships in the long jump, and then also the 4x1. So it shows your I guess your range of what you can do, triple jump, long jump. Had to run on the sprint relay because you're the only one we had, and we still won a national championship there. So 5 national championships, 11-time All-American, just some awesome results conference-wise, multiple school records, LSE records, you're still on all those. The list goes on and on and on.
Congratulations again, very proud of you, and look forward to seeing you.
We're definitely proud of you and proud of this honor for you, and look forward to just seeing what you do as you continue to pursue your career after college.
We are so proud of you. Yet another win for WT Track and Field. Thank you for being an inspiration to all of us. And we are so proud of you. Congratulations, girl.
As mentioned, Fatim was an 11-time All-America. Think of that, 11. And now consider she was at the NCAA Indoor Championships when COVID shut down the event and then canceled the spring season as well. She was staring at the potential for another 4 All-America honorees to add to her list. But it is what it is. To update on what Fatim is doing these days, she has moved back to her home country of Switzerland, where she is employed in general administration, working in her city's citizenship department. Fatim, come forward, please. You can definitely tell who the athlete was in that picture. Our next inductee from the program of football is Don Carthel.
Don Carthel brought the West Texas A&M football program into prominence during his time at the helm from 2005 to 2012. A four-time LSC Coach of the Year, Carthel led the Buffs to 4 LSC championships and amassed a stellar 79-22 record in Canyon. In 2007, Carthel was named AFCA Regional Coach of the Year. His teams made 6 trips to the NCAA playoffs, including a magical run to the national semifinals in 2012. Coach Carthel was inducted into the Panhandle Sports Hall of Fame in 2004 and will forever be remembered as one of the greatest coaches in Buffalo's history.
What's up, Pops? Sorry I couldn't be there tonight. I'm in this crazy profession they call college football. We got a big game down here in San Antonio tomorrow. Speaking of which, where are you? Oh, that's right. You're going to the West Texas A&M Hall of Champions. Congratulations on that well-deserved, well-earned honor.
Hey, Don, what an honor and privilege it is for me to congratulate you on becoming part of the WT Hall of Champions. What a great honor that is, and so well deserved.
Coach Carthel, congratulations. 2025 Hall of Champions. I'm not sure if anyone has earned this or deserves this more than you. The winningest coach in all of West Texas A&M football history.
Football has been a constant in our lives and a cherished pastime that we have shared together for over 40 plus years. From being your ball boy at Eastern, to you following my playing career, to coaching together at ACU, winning a national championship at Texas A&M Commerce, and turning this SFA program into a winner, we've had a blast together on the gridiron. But nothing tops the years we spent together at West Texas A&M.
Kind of got me thinking about the first time we met. When you first came to WT, I came over there kind of reluctant, kind of, what do we got going on here? And it took all of about 2 minutes with the aura and charisma that you have. It literally took about 2 minutes for you to have me buying into whatever you were selling. You told me we're going to have one of the best college football teams, not only in Division II, but maybe in the nation, and you delivered.
Such an honor to play for you to be the head coach. I was fortunate enough to play with you for 4 years, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Conference champions every single year, 5, 6, and 7. We were just short in 2008. 4 years of going to the NCAA Division II playoffs. I think I was able to play 51 games with you, 44-7 record. Man, we had a lot of fun together. We had a lot of wins. We had a lot of championships.
I firmly believe you were put on this earth to serve Jesus, love Mama, and coach the Buffaloes of West Texas A&M. And you have surely succeeded at all 3.
You know, it's a testimony of what you have meant to everybody around here. The folks that you brought in, the young student athletes that you brought in, you were always able to bring them in, provide that culture for them, show them that love, and mold these young athletes into not only great football players, but also great men.
But I think the thing that's special and that I remember most is how we changed West Texas A&M. I will always believe that 2005 team and the teams that followed and everything through your tenure at West Texas A&M really changed the whole course of that university, from the facilities to the buildings to enrollment. We really are on the Division II map for Division II athletics, not only in football, but in all sports.
I know that you've always given credit to your better half or your greatest teammate in Cindy.
Speaking of which, none of this would have been possible without my mom, who is the real Coach Carthel. All the old Buffalo players out there know that's a fact, as she has made over 1,000 pans of her world-famous brownies to give the players each Friday night before the big game. So Mom, please stand up and receive your ovation. Seriously, stand up. Stop the video until the real Coach Carthel stands up and takes a bow.
Again, I want to congratulate you on this award. Obviously, on the field, you are one of the best that there ever has been. I know you give a lot of the accolades again to Cindy, and so let me be one of the first to congratulate you and Cindy on this well-deserved award.
Listen, I'm happy for you. Tonight's your night. Enjoy the night. Have a blast.
I can't wait to see what the future holds for us. Thank you so much for our friendship, and go Buffs. Love you, buddy.
I love you. I appreciate you. Congrats.
Pops, congratulations on this great honor. It's been the thrill of a lifetime to share the sideline with you and enjoy so many great memories. I love you, Dad.
They're just keeping me on my toes. As mentioned, Don accumulated the most wins in the history of West Texas A&M football at 79. And with the help of some incredibly talented student athletes, and there's quite a few that came back to show their love tonight, he put WT football back on the map after a long period of dormancy. And in doing so, I know Coach Lynn's here tonight, he raised the expectations for football every year, so he made it tough, but it's been a lot of fun. He and his wife, Cindy, currently live in Amarillo, but he still oversees a farming operation in Friona. He continues to serve on his son Colby's football staff at Stephen F. Austin, and he was a member of the national championship squad at Texas A&M Commerce. And he's been rumored to be doing some fundraising for his alma mater located a little bit west of here, so the man is staying busy. Don, come on forward. Our next inductee is Joe Corbett.
The all-time strikeout leader for West Texas A&M baseball, Joe Corbett, enters the Hall of Champions. A native of Edmond, Oklahoma, Corbett spent 2 incredible seasons on the mound for the Buffs and left his mark in 2018 and 2019. Corbett had a 22-3 record, a 2.75 ERA, 236 strikeouts, and recorded 9 complete games. In 2019, he was named an All-American and D2 National Pitcher of the Year. Corbett became the highest drafted player in WT history when the Texas Rangers selected him in the 10th round. Currently, he continues to pitch professionally as a member of the 2025 Caribbean Series Championship.
Joe, the day's here, man. Congratulations on your induction into the WT Hall of Champions, man. So excited for you, incredibly proud of you.
Joe, just wanted to take a minute to congratulate you on being inducted into the WT Hall of Champions tonight. Really has been a pleasure to watch you develop into the player you became, especially from your junior year to your senior year.
Oh man, congratulations. I'm so proud of everything that you have accomplished, not only here at WT, but also when you left WT.
Quick story I want to tell everyone, just kind of shows the growth of Joe and part of what makes me not only proud to be his friend, but just proud of the human being he has become. Joe comes in, this has been my junior year, Joe's junior year as well. Supposed to be our big time righty, comes in. We had a history of Austin Moore, Marshall Kosowski, Dylan James beforehand. We're expecting him to be our big right-handed ace. Joe comes in, has a little bit of a tough fall. We go into our Fall World Series, right? Joe's still the #1 pick, right? We know who Joe is. We expect who he's going to be. Fall World Series, opening night, Joe gives up 8 runs. 8 runs at the top half of the first inning, tosses the glove in the air. We're like, okay, this is tough. Has a tough conversation with Coach V and Coach Hall. Joe goes home and completely rededicates himself. changes to a certain extent his throwing mechanics. He goes and pushes his body, gets himself into better shape, comes back with a much better mental attitude towards baseball, towards the game, towards just himself in general, goes out and dominates.
To watch you come in as a senior and flip a switch and decide to go to work and decided you wanted something bigger than what you'd had, and to watch you make that happen for yourself was honestly really impressive. And to watch you accomplish the things that you accomplished here at WT, becoming an All-American and becoming the National Pitcher of the Year, and then from a professional standpoint, becoming our highest draft pick, being a 10th round draft pick by the Rangers, and what you did in the Texas Rangers organization.
You have become a great person, and I'm so proud of the man that you have become. They told me I could tell a funny story here, but let's be real here. If I told some of the stories that I know about you, that room would be in shock.
Like, he was always, and even the guy that sent him to us, at the time he was at Arkansas Little Rock, and he sent me Joe, and he told me flat out, he's like, listen, this guy's we're trying to change the culture over here. We're terrible, and we're trying to change the culture. He said, this guy's gonna be a monster for you, but he's gonna do something once a week that's gonna make you wanna kick him off the team. Like, he's just always that. And it's never serious stuff, but it's always something. He's an idiot, you know, he's always doing something little that's gonna.
So I'll just say just this one thing. I'm so glad I didn't cut you in your first fall at WT. It was definitely one of those decisions as a coaching staff that we had to consider, because wow, you were horrible that fall.
It really was incredible to be a part of that and to witness you going through that entire process, but then more importantly, just to watch you become the young man that you've developed into and matured into.
Who you become as a person and who you become as a man is what I am so freaking excited for and so proud of you for.
You owned up, and you knew you needed to work harder, prepare harder, and dedicate yourself to your full potential. Man, and that you did and more. That was all you.
This honor tonight that they're bestowing upon you, it's absolutely deserved, and I couldn't be more proud of you and more happy for you. So, love you, buddy.
You have continued to amaze me, and I'm so proud to say that I got to coach you. I love you, and congratulations.
Not only congratulations on the WT Hall of Champions induction, congratulations to you and Lexi on your engagement. Chandler and I are so happy and proud of you guys. We love y'all so much. Cannot wait to celebrate y'all in the future. Congratulations again. Go Buffs.
You know, for the majority of our inductees, I get up here and we talk about what they did during their career and what they're doing now in their post-athletic career professionally, but Joe's a different story. He's currently still blazing his trail in baseball. We heard that he was drafted by the Texas Rangers back in 19. He made it as high as AA with the Frisco Rough Riders before the numbers game caught him, and he was cut, but he didn't give up. He played a couple years in the Mexican League, and most recently, he's playing in the Caribbean Winter League. And for those of you who know baseball, that's not a retread, hand-me-down league. It's comprised of AAA and Major League players who are trying to get a few more reps in for the next season. And most recently, this past year, he was on the championship team in that league, coached by a guy named Albert Pujols. Yeah. So it's going to be exciting to hear his story when he gets up here, but we're going to bring him forward. He currently makes his home in the off season in the Oklahoma City area, and he's spending his in season wherever his baseball path takes him. Let's bring up Joe Corbett. Our next inductee is Brett Hall.
Brett Hall registered a standout tennis career at West Texas State from 1973 to 1977. posting a 90-30 singles record. Hall holds the program record for victories, and he was a member of 3 Missouri Valley Championship teams. He won MVC singles titles in 1974 and 1976, while also winning doubles crowns in 75 and 76. Currently, Brett is the tennis professional at Freestone Park in Gilbert, Arizona. Hall is also a major advocate for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society.
It's an honor to talk about someone who means so much to me. Seeing Brett Hall inducted into the West Texas Hall of Champions is incredibly fitting because he's always been the kind of person who makes everyone around him better.
This is a very special occasion because of the very long time friendship between Brett and me since he was in high school, as a matter of fact.
I was traveling back and forth from Tucson, Arizona, playing tournaments, and I first got to know him from that experience. Now I've worked with him and been friends for almost 40 plus years.
He was not only a great teammate, but a great friend. That's just who Brett Hall is. Always lifting people up, always looking for the best in every situation, both on and off the court, no matter what he may personally be going through at the time.
This man is a people person. You don't find anybody that knows about him either as a student or as a fellow pro or anything who doesn't have just the highest respect because he cares.
Brett is the epitome of integrity, sportsmanship, and honor.
And there were some interscholastic league problems in 1971 that I got involved with, and bottom line, it involved a playoff that Brett Hall was involved in. And that was the first time I really got to know Brett, but he showed, even at that moment, a sportsmanship quality and a competitive nature that was extra special.
From the very beginning of my collegiate career, Brett had an impact on me. He helped recruit me to West Texas State, and honestly, that changed everything. My life would have been completely different if he hadn't talked to Coach Ken about me. The relationship with Coach was instrumental in getting me a coaching job at Texas A&M. So I owe everything to Brett.
By the way, when he and I played each other, I'm afraid he always won. I credited it to the fact that he was in high school when I was coaching, so I was a much older man, and he just picked on me.
Not only has Brett impacted the tennis community, but when diagnosed with a serious illness, he became an example of how to deal with adversity.
In 2015, Brett and Becky's help raised over $30,000 in fundraising for leukemia in Oregon, where he spent his winters.
Congratulations, Brett. You are truly a champion in every way.
Brett Hall, congratulations for being named to the Hall of Fame here in West Texas.
It is absolutely a very special honor to say congratulations, Brett, on this honor at West Texas, one of my very favorite universities.
Brett and his wife Becky make their summer home in beautiful Portland, Oregon, but they're smart enough, as he tells me, to spend winters in the Phoenix, Arizona area, where he serves as a teaching professional, working to introduce hundreds of youngsters to the sport of tennis. He's a 13-year cancer survivor, and he credits, absolutely. He credits his drive and perseverance in overcoming obstacles to the lessons learned from WT tennis coach and 1995 WT Hall of Champions inductee, Coach David Kent. We'll hear that story in a few moments. Brett, please come forward.
Back when I had hair. Huh?
Our next inductee is Kristen Jacobson.
Kristen Jacobson put together one of the most impressive equestrian careers in West Texas A&M history from 1999 to 2003. Jacobson won the IHSA Advanced Horsemanship National Championship in 2001, followed by an Open Western Reserve title and NCEA Western Reserve Championship in 2002. In 2003, Jacobson continued her dominance, winning both the NCEA Reigning Reserve and Western National titles. After her college career, Jacobson served as an assistant coach at the University of Tennessee at Martin. Currently, she is a strategic account manager at CEMEX.
In the fall of 1999, a young lady from Girard, Pennsylvania made her way to Canyon, Texas. She didn't know anybody, she didn't have a car, and she ran her happy body from the residence hall out to the WT Horse Center to try out for the equestrian team as a walk-on. 4 years later, Kristen McDonald was and remains one of the winningest equestrian team members we've ever had.
Congrats, Kristen, on being inducted into the Hall of Champions. I can't think of anybody more deserving.
She had multiple individual national titles, but she also contributed to 4 team titles, including the 2003 Intercollegiate Horse Show Association National Western Team Champion. She was amazing.
Not only athletically, because you are so sticky and so talented on horses, but also because your sportsmanship, your ability to create a wonderful team spirit, and just your overall friendship.
John Wooden had this quote. He was a basketball coach, you guys knew. He had this quote: "Success comes from knowing that you did your best to be the best that you were capable of becoming." I think this sentence so describes Kristen and her time on the equestrian team, because she did her best to become best and better every year for 4 years. And that amount of drive and dedication is really special.
You know, there are people that come into our lives for a moment, there are people that come into our lives for a lifetime, and you're one of those friends that I know I will always have for a lifetime.
She had incredible commitment to her physical preparation, her mental preparation, just a high level of self-discipline. And that is not unusual for successful athletes. What is more unusual is that she was able to impose those same qualities on her team members in a really positive and productive way. She was able to challenge them, motivate them, used humor, and her role modeling was part of what gave her so much credibility as a team member. These same qualities that made her a great team member have made her a great human.
So congratulations. Hopefully I get to give you a hug in person. If not, I love you, congrats, and enjoy your event.
Kristen, congratulations on being selected to be a member of the WT Hall of Champions. I could not be more proud of and pleased for you. Congratulations.
As mentioned, Kristen made her way from Northwest Pennsylvania. She told me earlier this week it was up around the Erie area to Canyon, Texas, and under the tutelage of then equestrian coach and 2013 WT Hall of Champions member Rebecca Bachman, went on to become one of the most decorated equestrian athletes in this school's rich history. And one of the stories we'll hear in a moment is when she came here, it wasn't to do equestrian. It's a good story. After living in several parts of the country, she relocated back to Amarillo, where she now lives and works as an account manager for CEMEX. And I had to look it up, but this is cool. It's a global agricultural biotechnological company that provides dairy and beef genetics and related technologies to farmers worldwide. Kristen, come on forward. Our next inductee is Duke Kaczynski.
Two-time NCAA national champion Duke Kaczynski takes his rightful place in the WT Hall of Champions. Kaczynski became the first men's individual national champion in 2016, winning the discus title at the NCAA Outdoor Championships. He was a two-time All-American for the Buffs before transferring to Texas Tech. During his time in Lubbock, Kaczynski won the 2019 discus title and helped the Red Raiders win a team national championship. He won a pair of Big 12 titles and also qualified for the 2021 U.S. Olympic Trials. Currently, Duke is the head coach of cross country and track at Texas Wesleyan University.
Congratulations, Duke. I'm really proud of you getting into the Hall of Champions this year. I've been looking forward to this for a couple of years.
Congratulations, Duke, on the Hall of Champions inductee for 2025.
Congratulations, Duke, for going into the Hall of Fame.
I'm very proud of you. Big honor for you. I know you've been really wanting this, and you're probably going to get in Texas Tech pretty soon as well.
Duke first came as a freshman as a dual athlete. He was playing football and track.
Biggest memory for you is obviously you just keeping stopping by the throws ring while you were playing football, saying you could throw for us.
Football was working very well for him. Then track season came along, so I got him after football season. And then he just fell in love, especially that year, his freshman year with the disc.
I got to see firsthand how hard you worked and what you accomplished.
And then all of a sudden, winning a national championship kind of out of nowhere at the Bradenton meet. Awesome memories for us, and I know that you went on to do great things at Texas Tech as well, and you're one of the only athletes ever, all time in NCAA history to win one in Division II and win a national championship in the discus in Division I.
And when he decided to leave, you know, that kind of hurt me at first, but then I thought, well, you know, why hold the kid back? Because he really believed that he could win the national championship in Division I, and I believed it too. So I was glad that he was able to move to Tech, Division I, and did as well as he did there and win the national championship there, and I couldn't be more proud.
You're one of only two people to pull off a national championship at the Division II level and the national championship at the Division I level.
Great honor for you. Congratulations, and proud of you.
This is greatly deserved.
Duke, I'm glad you're coming. Glad I get to speak on your behalf, and I'll see you at the induction. And congratulations, you deserve it very well on getting inducted to our Hall of Champions. Go Duke.
A native of Fort Worth, as we saw, Duke is only one of two individuals to be an All-America at both the NCAA Division I and Division II levels. He originally came to West Texas as, I'm going to call it, a lightly recruited football player. We'll hear about that in a few moments, before finding his niche in track and field, and what a niche it was. After graduating from Texas Tech, he trained and competed, navigating COVID in the process for the 2021 Olympic trials, where he finished 9th out of a stacked field before embarking on a coaching career. As Lucas said, he is currently the head track and field coach at Texas Wesleyan University in Fort Worth. It's a young program. They're in just their 4th year, and he is their 2nd head coach in the program's young history. Duke, come on forward. Our final inductee is Ryan Quaid.
West Texas A&M's all-time leading rebounder, Ryan Quaid, joins the Hall of Champions in 2025. During Quaid's illustrious career, the Buffs had a record of 113 wins and only 27 losses. WT won a pair of NCAA South Central regional titles and advanced to a Final Four with Quaid on the court. He was named the Lone Star Conference and Regional Player of the Year in 2019, along with All-American honors. Quaid was a complete player, impacting the game on both ends of the floor. He is the only player in program history to score over 1,700 points, grab 1,000 or more rebounds, and record 100 or more blocks. He played professionally overseas in Germany and is currently an investment sales associate in Dallas.
Ryan, congratulations on being inducted into the Hall of Champions. It's a very well-deserved honor, and I'm really proud of you.
What's up, bro? Wanted to jump on here and say congratulations on the Hall of Fame induction.
I think back and I look at your transition from high school to playing right away against really strong athletic men, and you persevered through those challenges.
You are totally deserving. You had an unbelievable career, and it was just such a pleasure watching you play for 4 years and ball out and dominate.
From a basketball perspective, I'll just share a couple things that I think highlight what kind of a player you were. You're all-time #1 leader of career rebounds at WT, over 1,000. Your next closest person is over 200 behind. That record likely won't be broken. And to me, that shows just lots of determination and desire to get the basketball.
So many great memories going down to Canyon and watching you play. One of my favorite memories was going out to Evanston, Indiana and playing the home team. But just the electric atmosphere and all our family being out there was a ton of fun.
Overall, you finished and still are #2 and #3 in free throws attempted and free throws made. Obviously, you took lots of fouls to get those kind of numbers, but to me, that shows lots of toughness on the court, and you certainly played with that.
Just really proud of how you carried yourself on and off the court throughout the course of your career, and now to see that translate into your life now is super cool.
Off the court, I was really proud as well. You used your platform to help others. Many young kids who were newly diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and they had a lot of fear about their future. You encouraged them, you gave them hope that they can achieve whatever they want in their life.
I got my Ryan Germany jersey behind me here, very fitting for this video.
Thank you for taking me, taking our family along this journey with you. It's been a lot of joy over many years. Congratulations again. I'm blessed to be your dad. I love you.
But love you, bro. Congratulations, you deserve it.
Ryan and his wife, Jordan, currently live in the Dallas area where, as Lucas said, he's vice president at Colliers, where he specializes in advising clients on the acquisition, renovation, and management of multifamily assets. Unfortunately, he and his wife suffered a family loss recently, which keeps him from being here tonight. So at this time, let's pause for a moment of silence for Ryan and his family. Thank you. Now to accept on Ryan's behalf is Ryan's former coach, the head coach of the Buffaloes, Tom Brown. All right, before I call our inductees to come forward for our panel conversation. Doug earlier tonight mentioned a couple people, Coach Dudley and myself, that assist in putting this together, but there's two other people that have made tonight possible, and I need to recognize them. First is Santiago Caride over here. Santiago is a member of our men's golf team. Last spring, he and our men's golf team represented the university at the 2025 NCAA Men's Golf Championships in Palm Beach, Florida. He started off the fall season this past month by winning our first tournament that we competed in. So Santiago, thanks for everything tonight, buddy. Secondly, the videos that you see tonight, and I know so many of you say that you enjoy watching our coverage of WT Athletics on Flow Sports. Chris Jacquis, I don't even know what your title is. He's our techno AV guy that makes everything look wonderful, but he oversees our student group known as Thunder Vision. He produces and directs all of our video production. So Chris, thanks, great job, man. Thanks a bunch. All right, now let's have our inductees come forward and we'll hear some of their stories. All right, for those of you who are new to our format, we've introduced them, we've presented them with their Crystal Award, and now this is our opportunity to hear some of their stories. I mean, we saw the accolades and their accomplishments on what they did athletically or coaching when they were here, but to hear the path that brought them to this little spot in the top of Texas that is so great, and to hear what they have done during their time here at WT and after their time is something that's really special. So we're just going to bounce around. I wish I had a coin to flip to see who we're going to start with, but I see Duke's already got the microphone here. So we're going to start with you, Duke. Let's talk about it. You went to Northwest High School on the far north side of Fort Worth, Texas, a suburb. And you wanted to come to WT, but it wasn't a guarantee, and there weren't a lot of schools after you because you were wanting to play football at the time.
Yeah, football. I had two football offers. It was West Texas A&M, and then it was A&M Commerce, who actually was being coached by your son and you at the time. But it was I didn't get any track offers, and that was always kind of my first love. And I'd come here to be a dual sport athlete, and what drew me here originally was, I had never won championships before. I was always good, but there's a reason why I wasn't super highly recruited. And the program and that Carthel had built up, it was a program of championships, and it was a program of that's how they would get you. They'd show you the 30 rings that they'd want. And so that. In a way, it was, even though that, Carthel had left at the time, and his son was recruiting me really hard at Commerce, but Nick Saban couldn't have got me to go to Commerce. I just wasn't gonna. And so, in a way, indirectly, Coach Carthel brought me here, and kind of one of those things. It's not really what you planned, but you just kind of work your way through, and it all ended up working out pretty well. So,
But you made it a point to make sure that Coach Stu and Coach Denham knew that you were interested.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It was always, I was always going to do both. It was always going to be football. It was always going to be track. And anyways, you get down to it. You start playing two sports, and you kind of figure out what you really love and what you want to do. And like Coach Denham said, that first year, it was just like, once I started doing track, I knew that was what I was going to do for the rest of my career. Grateful for, ending up here how I did. There's a West Texas way of life that I'm actually kind of familiar with. My dad was raised in Amarillo. My Nana's she was raised in Amarillo. And it was always just something that made sense to me out here, was how people thought, how people worked. And, a little foreign to other places. And even after I left here, I went to Texas Tech, and I think that's the thing I'm most grateful for is ending out here with country people, with good character people, and college helped me become who I was as a man. And anyways, very grateful for West Texas, the area, the school, anyways.
Kristen, you're holding the microphone. You'll be next. Pennsylvania to Texas, you achieve incredible awards and honors in equestrian, but that wasn't why you came here.
No, sir, it wasn't. I don't know if y'all are familiar with a magazine called Western Horseman. It's kind of a Western lifestyle magazine. And I had seen an article in there about the rodeo team, collegiate rodeo team here, and so that's what grabbed my attention. However, you have to have your own horse for that. And at the time that I was accepted to WT, I did not have my own horse. And so that's how I found the equestrian team, where you didn't have to have your own animal. So I figured I needed to try to be a part of that.
And we'll just continue here because for those of you who don't know equestrian, they compete on one level across the country. They compete against D3, D2, D1 at Penn State, at Ohio State, whatever. They travel to these arenas on other campuses, and it's blind draw on what horse you're gonna be riding. You're not familiar with it. That horse doesn't know you, and that's how you prove your horsemanship. So she came down wanting to do rodeo, found out that you didn't ride in on the horse that brought you, I guess, and went to a sport where you're completely unfamiliar with your ride. I just think that's incredible. Let's go down to the end to Joe down here. Coach Vandenberg mentioned you came in here from Arkansas, Little Rock. Talk a little bit about the transformation going from D1 to D2, especially to a program which at the time you followed Marshall Kozowski, who we put in this hall 2 or 3 years ago. But this was a hitting-centric program at the time, and now all of a sudden we've got some serious pitchers once you got past your fall season.
Yeah, I first got the call from Corey Hall. I was out fishing in Oklahoma at like 2 a.m. I was night fishing. And Corey left me a voicemail, and I could tell you just by the first time I heard his voice, I'm like, I don't even know what this, I'm going to this school. He's got such a great voice, and man, I just, coming from D1 to D2, I kind of, I don't know if you guys remember the videos, but I kind of had a hot head, and you think you're going to dominate coming down a level. I got my butt kicked in, and there's really not a big difference between D2 and D1 at this list, especially with top 5 Division II school at the time, West Texas A&M, and I'm lucky I had great people around me to, keep me accountable and help me out both as a baseball player and as a person.
Brett, let's go to you next. Your story and how you ended up here back in the early 70s, this wasn't on the radar.
Well, this might surprise you, but my story starts in Pampa, Texas. Anybody know where that is? So, 1955, I was conceived, and I was born in Lubbock. So this is full circle for me. My dad was in the oil business, and at that time, mechanical engineer, he was working in the oil fields, and we moved to Tyler. And my dad was self-taught. He taught me to play tennis. And the crazy thing is, I was 10 years old. We played tennis and then run around the track. So I just thought that was kind of normal. We moved to Houston. In the Spring Branch area, familiar with Houston, went to a school called Westchester. We had a great tennis team, and in the middle of my junior year, my dad goes, Brett, hate to tell you this, but we're moving on the other side of Houston. I said, are you kidding me? We got the best team. My doubles partner and I, we lost to the state champions in the finals of district, where I was up 5-2 in the third and choked, so that was a big deal to me. So then anyway, my senior year, got to the semifinals of state 4A, which was the top level. And my dad and my brother went to Texas so they bled orange. So I'm ready to go to Texas. 4 of us there at the state tournament, and I didn't play terrible. I lost 4-3 to the champion. So I'm going up to the coach, and Coach Snyder, Avery back there, who played for Texas, is my good friend. He said, well, I'm sorry, Brett, but I've given all my scholarships. I said, wait a minute, Coach. I've beaten 2 of the guys you've offered scholarships to. So I had other offers in the Southwest Conference, and there was this little guy. How many of you knew Coach Kent personally? Raise your hand. How many of you have heard of Coach Kent? Okay. Well, there's this little guy running around the state tournament, and he talked with the lift a little bit, and he had this little kick in his jump, and he was following me everywhere. And Brett, I want you to come to West Texas State. I said, well, where is that? El Paso? I want to, is that Division 2, 3? And we were Division 1. And the first lesson I learned, that many lessons at West Texas, was go where you're wanted. And in the mail, every day, Todd, his son's over there, Todd, wave. So I'm so honored to have Todd in the audience. And Todd knows this. Every day I got something in the mail. Pretty girls, Todd's sister. And I knew I couldn't go wrong going to West Texas, and it was the smartest decision I ever did.
Fatim, we'll come down to you now. Oh, she already got her mic, so we'll pass that one to Dawn for next. But you're completely different from the other inductees over here in that you come from Europe. You didn't follow the plan of junior college or going to another school and then transferring to WT. So tell us how, in Geneva, Switzerland, all of a sudden West Texas A&M track and field entered into your life.
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay. So my story is a little bit different. So as he said, I'm coming from Switzerland. And so after I was done with high school, I really wanted to continue with track. And so in Switzerland, it's very difficult to really do sports after high school. You have to choose school or sports. And so I didn't want to, not take the opportunity to continue to run track because I felt that I could improve. And so I decided to go overseas to be able to do both. So that's my story.
And how did you get directed to WT?
So basically I got connected with Coach Stu and also other schools. And I discussed with all the coaches, and I felt that Coach Stu was the best for me. And as you said, I felt that they really wanted me. And I felt that I could improve and really focus on being the best athlete I could.
Wonderful. All right, Dawn, you got the hat with you. Everyone remember this one. You followed kind of the basic coaching career, high school and then collegiate assistant jobs. And then you land your first it was your second collegiate job out in Portales at your alma mater. And you took a program that had not had an abundance of success at the Lone Star Conference and led them to their first LSC title. And then you went to Abilene Christian, where Colby was playing at the time, before coming up here to be the Buffs head coach in 2005. Your first game, you put 91 points on the board, and your first year, you win the Lone Star Conference title. You had a knack for jump-starting programs. How the heck do you do it?
Well, those guys right there and there, that's how you do it. If you recruit good athletes, they can make you look pretty good as a coach, and they did that for the 8 years that I was here. I'm very appreciative for them. My wife got me back into coaching. I'd got out, and so I could watch my kids go through high school, but she encouraged me to get back in, and I'm thankful for that. And coming here, I had no idea. I'd watched WT because I was helping Abilene Christian, so I knew what they had, and I didn't know if I would be 3-30 and fired after 3 years like the previous coaches, or just what was going on. It was kind of scary. So we go to Highlands University for that first ball game, and I don't know if we're going to win or not, but we put 91 points on the board, and we was running linebackers at running back at the end of the game, just moving people around to keep the score from hitting 100. But that started us off pretty good. And then when I realized we were pretty good that year, and I could talk all day about different teams, but I'll just talk about that 05 team because that's the special one. That's the first one that we actually won here. But A&I comes to town, Texas A&M Kingsville, and they're ranked number 2 in the nation. And, it's about the third game of the year. Dalton Bell has already established himself as our quarterback. We brought in a hotshot 5-star quarterback from OU, got the job in the summer. And Cedric Knowlton was one of the first ones that I recruited, but we were looking for players because it was May, and the football season is right around the corner. So anyway, this hotshot quarterback from OU, we went to Highlands, and Dalton was just by far the best, day in and day out in two-a-days, but we knew we had this Hunter Wall. He's supposed to be our quarterback. He wasn't a Dalton Bell. Dalton Bell was a winner, but when I first realized it on Dalton we was playing Kingsville, and they were nasty. They were tough, and they came after him with a blitz, and they just nosedived right into his leg, into his knee from the front. And he stood in there and threw a strike for a touchdown and didn't bat an eye, didn't come out of the game. I said, I know we got us a winner at quarterback right there. And we went on, and Jacob Felton won 2 games with no time left on the clock. We kicked field goals at Commerce to beat them, and then we did the same thing at Midwestern. And those were 2 really good teams at the time. But it was a fun year. And we ended up the year at Tarleton, 2 top-ranked teams playing each other for the conference championship that first year. And we go down there, and we smacked them pretty good, and we celebrated. I had some non-alcoholic champagne in the locker room, and we celebrated in that locker room. And for the next, 8 years, we went back there. We never lost to them. We were 8-0, 9-0, because we played them once in the playoffs, too, against Tarleton. But every year we'd go back to that same locker room, and I'd see those stains on the ceiling, on the tiles. We'd clean up the room. We did a really good job of that, but we couldn't clean the tiles. But every year it brought back a lot of good memories when we'd go to Tarleton in that locker room and see those stains on the roof.
And that wasn't the only time you celebrated at Tarleton either.
No, we did it every time. Yeah, it was fun.
All right, let's go back down the line here. Let's go to Duke. You finished your playing career, your competing career. You have the desire to get into coaching. Talk a little bit about the transfer, where you went, how you ended up back in Fort Worth.
I probably would have stayed in Fort Worth had I had an offer to stay there. I didn't get any, and I'm glad. I'm very grateful to come out here to West Texas. It changed my life. But I went on to Texas Tech. We went there, and really I was going somewhere else where, like the team, and they've all said Texas Tech wanted me, and I went there and didn't really expect to go win championships, but I hoped I could, and we ended up having a very good team, and we won the first men's national title in sport history at Texas Tech. They've had 2 now, and the other one was an indoor track team a year ago, but hopefully football can do it this year. They're playing pretty good. And so I did there. I had a very successful career, and a lot of the same things. Nothing really changed about my training. It's same old, work hard, show up every day. And anyways, wanted to keep trying. Olympics were right there, 2020, so I had to try to make that team, and COVID pushed that back another year. And whenever that was over, I knew I loved track, but I was tired of being broke. I really liked coaching. I'd done private lessons to that point, and I figured I might as well go get paid to do it. And I moved out to Alabama and coached there in Huntsville for a year. And I was never going to stay there long. It was kind of a first job, and the plan was always to come back to Fort Worth. But it was a really fun experience for me because I was coaching a very good team, and I sent a couple kids to nationals. And that was the first time I saw Coach Denham again as a coach. And, one of my favorite photos of us that was my first year coaching, first year going to nationals, and it was at the same place that I'd gone to for my first nationals, and I was coaching, he was coaching, and anyways, moved back home because that's where I was wanting to be, and I didn't have a coaching job. I just knew that I wanted to live in Fort Worth. That was my home, and was a firefighter for a couple years, and I love that job, love that career. And then this head coaching job came available this past year, and it was one of these things. I get to coach, I get to be in Fort Worth, and I had to try it. And so I'm going into my second year as a head coach at Texas Wesleyan, and as fun as being an athlete was, and to me it's just so much better to be a coach. It's more enjoyable every day. I'm not the one out there competing, but it's a very great career, and so.
And at still a fledgling program, you're not only developing athletes, you're still developing that program.
Yeah, and it's kind of, I always go back to whenever I was here at WT, it's been very cool to come back because you felt things were growing. You felt what Carthel had built and what this school had built, and the football stadium wasn't here, but me and my family walked across campus today, and it was like, this university's arrived. It's a great university to come be an athlete. It was a small school. It was a building school, and that's kind of where I am now with my school. It's so a very good experience. I got to be a part of WT to where, we were growing, we were building, we were good, but we hadn't quite made it. It was still, and walking back through today, it's just, the football stadium, all these new buildings, and it's turning into an amazing university, and it already was, so.
Absolutely. Let's just keep going right down the line to Brett here. Brett, when we spoke on the phone the other day, so much of what you have done in life you attributed to Coach Kent, some of which is mental. You went through a period with leukemia. You've 13 years free now, but you told me some things about Coach Kent that helped you battle the fight.
Yeah, I'm a little biased, but tennis is the greatest sport there is because you learn every life lesson with tennis. And playing tennis at West Texas, I was telling my wife and my son, it's a little windy today, so you have to, and back in those days, just to give you a little, this is 50 years ago, we didn't have referees like they do today, and so you had to handle adversity. And I got to tell you about Coach Kent, and a lot of you might not know this, but he was a successful coach from Midland. He came in 1969, started a Division I tennis program from scratch, and within 2 or 3 years won our conference. Okay? And when he retired, and a lot of people don't know this, he was in the top 10 of the most winning coaches in Division I, which is incredible. But what he really helped me with, I was telling Todd, and Todd knows this, his son, to this day, I've been around a lot of successful people, professional athletes, incredible business people. There's no one there'll never be another Coach Kent. He was the most competitive human being I've ever met, hands down. And he motivated us in several ways. I'll never forget the first match, he would put the fear of God in me. Some guys quit. I said, I'm out of here. But I responded, I just think he was such a good player, and he could beat a lot of the guys on the team, particularly the first year, and so here we have an odd number, and some of the guys going, oh God, do I have to play coach? I love playing him because we would have battles, and I know he beat me. He was only like 40. He was a great player. He played college tennis at Texas Tech, but he wanted to win so bad, and he was such a hard worker that you gotta, I wanted to win for him. And he also put carrots in front of us. Bob and I won a doubles title, and Bob will tell you, the big thing back then was we wanted to grow our hair long, and we wanted to practice without shirts to get the tan. And we were very competitive with the Big 8, Southwest Conference, and the team that we hated was Oklahoma State. And their coach, Wadley, he'd bring gamesmanship up to here, and we'd bring our team gamesmanship up to here. And and so he would go, okay, if we beat Oklahoma State, shirts off. So we beat Oklahoma State. 2 weeks later, we lose to Oklahoma. Shirts back on. And, so in, people that know me, I mean, he brought my competitive level up to another level. And I want to tell you a little bit about my story. In 2012, October 28th, I went in for a blood test for a hip replacement. And the doctor says, the nurse calls and says, Brett, your white blood cell count is 40,000, and the normal blood cell count is 6 to 10. So we're going to send you to an oncologist. And I go, what? Oncologist? And so I go to this oncologist, changed my life. I'll never forget this to the day I die. And she said, well, Brett, I'm sorry, but you've been cheated. And I didn't say anything. I walked out with my wife, and obviously I fired her. And the crazy thing is, I've been blessed because I've met incredible doctors, scientists, volunteers, cancer survivors. And what I did after I accepted my disease was I said, okay, because of the influence I had here at WT and learning how to compete at such a high level, I said, I'm going to tackle this thing, and because it's my toughest opponent ever, and I can't lose this one. So a lot of people that know me, I mean, I'm very intense, and I do things a lot of people don't do with diet, exercise, and I'm proud to be, my disease is incurable, but I've been in remission for 4 years. So I owe it to my experience here and what I learned playing under the great Coach Kent.
What an amazing story, huh? Incredible. Congratulations. Kristen, tough act to follow, but you're going to be next here. So you finished your time at WT. You're in Amarillo now. Take us through the journey that you've had since. Kind of walk us through life and where it's led and what you've been doing.
Sure. I can say honestly that we never tried to get our coach to let us ride shirtless, but maybe in the future that'll be a fun activity. So after graduation, I stayed on and pursued my master's here, and then we moved to the University of Tennessee at Martin, where I coached an equestrian team there and managed their ag pavilion, their arena. And then we moved back to Amarillo. I worked for the Quarter Horse Association for quite a while, and then left there, went back again, and then left to go to work for CMEX, the company that I'm currently working for.
So was that associated with your degree here at WT, or how did you land that? Because it's a high-tech firm.
It is, yeah. I didn't necessarily have all of the experience that they were looking for. I had been in sales most of my life, dealing with customers and whatnot, relationship building, but I think they were desperate, and it was during COVID. But anyway, they gave me a chance, and so through that, this last year I ended up top 3 in the whole company in the U.S., so I was pretty excited about that.
Congratulations on that. Wonderful. All right, Fatim, your competing days at WT are over. You move into you go to Troy University in Alabama to be a GA and get into coaching, correct?
Yes.
So your journey, you're going to be a coach. Now you're back in Switzerland. Talk a little bit about how that all comes about.
So I went to Troy University actually to pursue my master's degree in clinical mental health counseling. And so I had the opportunity to be also a graduate assistant, so I took that opportunity. And meanwhile, I was also trying to run actually track as a professional. So that was just a great opportunity.
So at what point then did you decide to move back home? Because right now you have an injury. You said you injured your Achilles. You're back home. You're not coaching. You're actually working in general administration.
Yeah, so I was in Troy, and then I got injured, so I ruptured my Achilles, and so that was the end of me running track. So then I went to Portland actually to work as a clinical counselor.
Portland, Oregon.
Yes, Portland, Oregon, not Maine. And at the end, I just decided that I missed back home. I missed Switzerland, and I just thought it was the best choice for me.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful story. Joe, we're going to move down to you, and they say baseball's a thinking man's game, but it's a heavy mental game too. Talk a little bit about your pitching in the Rangers organization, and then going to the Mexican League, which kind of is where you read about guys that are going hoping to keep it alive, and now to be at the top level of the winter leagues playing for a guy who's going to be a Hall of Famer. Just the ups and the downs that you've gone through.
Yeah, the middle game is definitely pretty much everything, and but over the course of my professional career, I pretty much had all kinds of teammates. Mostly, there's been guys from LSU, Florida, Vanderbilt, you name it. These big colleges, and they're so proud to talk about where they're from. And when they ask me where I'm from, where'd you go to school? I say, I'm very proud to say West Texas A&M, and I learned so much here. And the mental side of I think my mindset was kind of unlocked here, and I credit that 100% to Corey Hall. He was my pitching coach here at the time. Now he's the head coach, and he just as a young person growing up, you playing sports, you just think everything's physical, like it's based off your talent, and he unlocked the psychological aspect of the game. He said pitching is 90% mental, 10% physical, and that goes along with success in life as well. And he just unlocked that in me. And every time I'd be walking on, and I still do this to this day, every field I walk onto when I'm playing, I genuinely feel like I'm the best player on the field because he taught me that, I have self-confidence in myself, I have self-belief, and that's stuff I didn't know anything about before I came here. And he taught me all about that, and it's a massive reason why I'm sitting up here right now. I mean, I wouldn't be sitting up here if it wasn't for him. And along with him, Coach V. Coach V was it was the first time in my life that I had played for. I knew what it was like to play for a great coach. There's great coaches, mediocre coaches, poor coaches, and Coach V, man, he was a great coach. He cared for me more off the field than on the field, it seems like. And he was a tough leader. He led with principles, and he was pretty brutally honest. But his leadership principles, the way he led our team, we had nothing but success my years here with him, and the way he led me and the team, like, that's in my blood now for the rest of my life. That's how I'm going to lead other people, because it worked and it was effective, and he cared for me. And I can genuinely say I love him, and I love Corey Hall, and I want to also thank my parents who are sitting right here. I love you guys so much, and I wouldn't be sitting here without you guys. You took care of me my whole life, even when the times were hard, and I love you guys. I would not be sitting here without you. I love you. Thank you.
Wonderful, Joe. Let's get one of the mics back down here to Coach Carthel. We've talked about the 05 season. Now you had a lot of wins. You had a lot of great games. Some of the great games didn't result in wins. What's the one that really stands out as your favorite competition that you've had here?
Well, I want to start with saying that I appreciate my family that always supported me, all my brothers and their wives that are here tonight, and Courtney and her family, and Kobe naturally, and Mike Bain that spoke on my behalf. I really appreciated the Bain family and the Schaefer family and what they did we wouldn't be where we are today without them and Helen Peel and others out there. I could name a bunch more, but those are super people there. But got a couple of old teammates that are here from high school, and appreciate their support. But all that plays into us winning. And probably my favorite game, and I had a ton of them because I loved anytime you win, it's fun. And we had a lot of them there. But that first year, I'll go back to 2005, and we were fixing to play Eastern New Mexico University. And that's a big wagon wheel game, big rivalry, especially for me since I was from there and everything. But I think we sold about 5,000 of these pink hats that week, and we filled the stadium with 22,000 that year, and 2 years later, 23,000. But leading up to the game in a practice on Wednesday, and I had never shared this story with many people. A lot of you players were there and saw it. Okay, you want the details. All right. I was farming at Freona, and my crop manager and fertilizer dealer, he had played football here. And so he and I worked out a scheme. All right, Darren, you come over to practice. It's at 3 o'clock, and about 4 o'clock, you'd be out there by that fence. We didn't have these nice facilities like they have now. We had a 6-foot chain link fence out there and had a gate, about 100 yards from where these guys were practicing. So I thought it'd be safe if I had him pull up there under those trees, and he had a little plastic camera, and he was acting like he was filming our practice. And I had practices going on there, and I don't think my coaches, nobody knew about it except for me and Darren. And anyway, I saw him, and so I walked out there, and he and I were discussing it, and we was on this side of the fence, and everybody's out there practicing. And then we get into a scuffle, and Terry Funk had been supporting us. I was trying to beat Terry Funk out there, put him in a sleeper hold. So anyway, we went on the ground. We was wrestling and making a lot of racket and everything, and the coaches saw it, and they started over, and here come the players. And so about that time, they were coming at us in the fence, not the gate, where I was expecting them to come out the gate and try to get us to break us up. But I said, Darren, you better go. And so he ran across the little parking lot behind the dorm there, had his pickup parked, and he jumped in the pickup and took off. And I swear, Pat McCoy, and he was probably one of them, but Charlie Martin, we had guys jumping over that 6-link chain link fence to come out there and whoop that guy that was driving off in his pickup. And he was peeling out, and they were banging on his pickup with their helmets and chasing him out of the parking lot. So that's the true story, and that led us to have a little motivation to win in overtime. And then the other funny deal on that game, at the end of the game, the students and everybody was coming on the field. You could tell they were going to storm the field at old Kimbrough Stadium there. And Adam Bandy, he's with First United Bank now, one of their employees. He snuck over to me and says, Coach, the cops are saying they're going to throw us in jail if we tear that goalpost down. I said, nah, they ain't going to throw you in jail. Go ahead and do it. And sure enough, that goalpost came down. So that was a fun night. I'll never forget that night.
You were definitely what they call a player's coach. I mean, you accumulated records, but a lot of the records you accumulated were for the kids. I've got a story I'm going to tell here. It was a game we didn't win. It was one of those crazy ones. It was Charlie Martin, Keith Knowles' senior year. We're down in Abilene for the NCAA Division II playoffs. The game was out of hand at the time. I think the score was 93-61 at the time. And we're in the final minutes. I was your media relations director at the time. And as I go downstairs, I noticed that Charlie Martin was 7 yards short from setting the NCAA receiving record. So I go hustling. We're in Shotwell Stadium. I go down around the field, and I run up to Colby because we had just got the ball after another Abilene score. We had the ball at midfield. I run up to Colby, and I say, hey, Charlie needs 7 yards to set NCAA record. He turns around with the big eyes he gets. He says, does Dad know? I said, no, you go tell him. So he goes up to you. You called a timeout. And set up a play which we threw it was an in route to Charlie, and I think it was slant, and it was designed maybe to go 10 yards or so, get him his 7 yards and do it. Charlie, being the All-American and the future NFL player he was, took it 47 yards to the house. So then we have to kick off to Abilene, trailing 93-68. And if those boogers didn't lateral the ball and try and run it back on us to rub it in, but they didn't make it. But Charlie got his record. The Buffs, you know, we were in the record book, but that's just the way Coach Carthel did. He was behind his players all the way. He promoted their success, and it was a treat getting to work with you, Coach. I appreciate it.
Thank you. It's a great honor to be WT's football coach. Y'all are awesome.
Before we finish, I'm going to ask if any of our inductees have anything else that they'd like to say to the crowd or thank or whatnot before I bring the curtain down. I don't want to leave something unsaid. Go ahead, Brett.
Well, yeah, I just I think I want to thank you and Kimberly and Doug and West Texas A&M for this great honor, and congratulations to all the inductees. It's been a wonderful night. So.
One of the things that I find intriguing every year, but this year especially, is when I would call and visit with the inductees a little beforehand, kind of to walk them through so they know what to expect. The number of our inductees that are up here that were aware of what the other inductees had done, either before them or while. Joe was saying, you know, I was out there playing baseball and Fatim was getting 11 All-America honors. I mean, that was incredibly going to school with her. And to hear Duke say that he wanted to go to WT because he'd heard of Don Carthel, even though Coach Carthel was over in Commerce at the time. And just the way our athletics program intertwines each other. They're not just separate football teams and separate track teams. They're woven together. The kids, the student athletes, they care about each other. And a large part of it is because of you folks. You know, we do the Legacy Award. Not everyone wins the Legacy Award, but you guys, you hear the word family and you hear the word home and you hear the word West Texas, and that's what it's all about.